It's Wednesday, April 24. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, says Jamaica's public debt is projected to fall to 98.7% this financial year, the first time since 2000 that the figure will be below 100% of gross domestic product. A release after its executive board Monday concluding the fifth review by the Standby Arrangement, SBA, for Jamaica, noted, quote, unemployment is near all-time lows, business confidence is high, and the economy is estimated to have expanded by 1.8% in 2018, buoyed by mining, construction, and agriculture. The international reserves are estimated to be comfortable under a more flexible exchange rate, end quote. In 2016, Jamaica had entered into a 36-month SBA with a total access of $1.66 billion, equivalent of 312% of the island's quota in the IMF. The IMF said that the Jamaican authorities continue to view the SBA as a precautionary and to use it as an insurance policy against unforeseen external economic shocks that can lead to balance of payments need. For the calendar year 2018, preliminary estimates from Statin show that the quality of food imported into Jamaica declined by 5.1% compared with food imports in 2017. And that's according to Industry, Investment, Commerce and Fishing Minister Audley Shaw. He made those comments while making his presentation in the House of Representatives sectoral debate yesterday.
For the calendar year 2018, preliminary estimates from Statin show that the quantity of food imported declined by 5.1% when compared with food imports in 2017. That's a good sign. Good sign. There was a decline in the imports.
Turning to exports, Shaw said the preliminary estimates from Statin show that a total of 121.9 million kilograms of food were exported in 2018, a marginal decline of 0.04% when compared to 122.4 million kilograms exported in 2017. Agriculture Minister Audley Shaw told the House yesterday that critics of the planned Bernard Lodge development should look at the bigger picture, arguing that it is slated to bring investments valued at approximately $58 billion. Farmers have been complaining about the manner in which they were being evicted from St. Catherine property and the proposed site for their relocation. There have also been criticisms of the plan to convert more farmlands into commercial and residential spaces.
The businesses to be established in the Bernard Lodge area alone, Mr. Speaker, you know how much the value of the business is? $58 billion of businesses that will be set up at Bernard Lodge. So, Mr. Speaker, in relation to the restructuring of Sugarlands, we have been in touch with the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and the Ministry of Transport and Mining to systematically identify the availability of arable lands at the National Land Agency. It's not just sugar company lands, folks. You guys listen to me, okay? Don't listen to him. Listen to me. All right? Right? So it's not just sugar company lands we're going to rationalize. National Land Agency has land too. Okay? And the Ministry of Transport and Mining, right? They have lands. The National Land Utilization Commission under NEPA and the Bauxite Institute with mined out, reclaim the bauxite land. I want the inventory of all of them. We're going to put them into production.
Mr. Shaw argued that the development will also mean better days for farmers who will be able to provide produce to some of the industries to be set up. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton confirmed yesterday that there are no cases of measles detected in Jamaica. However, he expressed concern about the slow response to the vaccination program.
There has been a decrease, Mr. Speaker, in uptake of the vaccines over the last number of years. Mr. Speaker, in 2018, Jamaica had some 89% coverage of MMR1 and 82% coverage of MMR2. We are going to therefore, Mr. Speaker, and I'm using this opportunity to appeal to all parents to visit the nearest health center to ensure that their children are fully vaccinated, as measles has the potential to kill more children than any other vaccine-preventable disease. The vaccines, Mr. Speaker, can be had at all public centers across the island free of cost.
Dr. Tufton was responding to questions from the opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Dayton Campbell, after delivering an update in the House of Representatives on the situation involving the regional threat from an outbreak of measles in the United States and Europe. But the minister immediately sought the advice of his medical team, after which he reported to the House.
I've done some checks, Mr. Speaker. Technology is an amazing thing, and sometimes it's important to clarify. Otherwise, we can create emergency cases that are not necessary. So I am told that a case at Hospital, where the member works, the private hospital in Montego Bay. But let me just finish. Mr. Speaker, let me just complete. A case at Hospital, which is not quite an imported case of measles, because the child had measles 2 weeks prior to coming to Jamaica and had complications when they actually came into the country. The child was treated for the complication, but it was not contagious at this point.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness was in Atlanta in the United States over the weekend and addressed the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce there. Atlanta holds one of the most successful population of diaspora citizens.
It's not that we're only looking to see investments come in, but we must also encourage Jamaicans to make investments elsewhere, because that is how you're going to create wealth. So I believe that if we take an instrumental approach, Darrell, we could be creating more business that is mutually beneficial to both Georgia and Jamaica. And I'm looking forward to that.
8 members of the judiciary have been appointed to serve at higher levels within Jamaica's courts. They are David Fraser, who will act as a judge of the Court of Appeal, effective April 29, 2019 until July 31, 2019. Trisha Hutchinson, who has been appointed to act as puisne judge, effective April 24 to July 31, 2019. And Natalie Hart-Hines, who has been appointed Master in Chambers, effective April 23. Also taking the oath of office were Yvonne Brown, Andrea Pettigrew Collins, Callis Wiltshire, Simone Wolfe-Rees, and Anne-Marie Nemhard, who have been appointed puisne judges. Their appointments become effective April 23, 2019. They were sworn in recently by Deputy Governor General Honorable Stedman Fuller during a ceremony at King's House. The National Environment and Planning Agency said there could be an increase in the cost of burials in Jamaica due to limited land space for cemeteries. Of the estimated 427 recognized cemeteries across Jamaica, 68% are running out of space. Leonard Francis, NEPA's director of the Spatial Planning Division, told the media that Jamaica has only a quarter of the minimum designated land space for burials. And the National Water Commission, NWC, is reporting that operations at the Constant Spring Treatment Plant are now being suspended in order to facilitate emergency repair work along the company's pipeline network. As a result, a number of communities served by the water supply facility are likely to experience low water or no water condition until regular operations are restored at the plant. The NWC estimates that these repairs will be completed by midnight. Areas affected include Constant Spring, Norbrook, Cherry Gardens, Ligony, Lady Musgrave Road, Manor Park, Eastwood Park Gardens, Malines Road, Waltham Park Road, Olympic Way, Bay Farm Road, Hagley Park Road, Washington Boulevard, Dunrobin Avenue, Calabar Mews, Zadie Gardens, State Gardens, Mannings Hill Road, Constant Spring Road and Gardens, Halfway Tree, Spanish Town Road, Valentine Gardens, Meadowbrook, and Roehampton. The NWC seeks to assure that every effort will be made to restore regular supply within the shortest possible time. The US dollar on Tuesday, April 23, ended trading at $134.26, up by 10 cents. That's according to the Bank of Jamaica's daily foreign exchange trading summary. The Canadian dollar ended trading at Jamaican $100.53, down from $100.97, while the British pound sterling ended trading at Jamaican $169.62, down from $172.84. In regional news, the People's Progressive Party nominated commissioners want the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, to cease all statutory meetings until the Caribbean Court of Justice rules on cases related to the no-confidence motion against the government. The details are in this Newsroom Guyana report.
A statutory meeting of the Guyana Elections Commission was postponed on Tuesday after opposition-nominated Commissioner PBCJ insisted that all meetings shall be cancelled until the Caribbean Court of Justice rules on matters related to the no-confidence motion. Her request met with disagreement from the government-nominated commissioners and the chairman. As a result, Shadiq and other PPP-nominated commissioners, says Gunraj and Robson Ben, again walked out of the meeting. According to GECOM Commissioner Vincent Alexander, Chairman Justice Retired James Patterson ended the meeting. The CCJ has set May 10th for arguments challenging the no-confidence ruling on March 22nd by the appeal court. Since the passage of the no-confidence motion against the government on December 21, 2018, the PPP-nominated commissioners have not sat through any GECOM meetings in protest of the Commission's decision to move ahead with this house-to-house registration exercise. A private citizen, BB Zinatun of 317 East Street, North Commingsburg, Georgetown, has since filed a legal challenge to block the registration exercise. Alexander told the media that while the matter was not discussed, he is confident that GECOM will win the case.
It is very, very strange that people who have in the past made and passed laws about registration, who have voted for allocations of money in parliamentary registration and now saying it's unconstitutional. It seems very opportunistic that is being done. But for me, it is nothing more than another political maneuver to stymie the work of GECOM.
Zinatun, who is represented by attorney Anna Landalal, is asking the court to declare that the house-to-house registration exercise is unconstitutional, ultra-vires illegal, null, void, and of no effect. The application was filed 2 weeks after a letter was sent to the Chief Elections Officer by Landalal on behalf of GECOM Commissioner Robson Ben, demanding that the elections body stop the house-to-house registration exercise. GECOM is currently training staff and is expected to begin the house-to-house registration on June.
Law enforcement officials in Trinidad and Tobago have strengthened their relationship with international police agency Interpol in a bid to identify criminal gang members from Venezuela fleeing the crisis-ridden nation. Acting National Security Minister Edmund Dillon gave an update in Parliament on Tuesday.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service have in fact put a number of measures in place to deal with the illegal entrance of Venezuelans and others coming into Trinidad and Tobago. They have established and strengthened the liaison with Interpol to identify criminals who are on the Interpol database coming into Trinidad and Tobago. They have also strengthened the liaison between the local intelligence unit, the Strategic Services Agency, the Organized Crime and Intelligence Unit, and of course other local intelligence agencies to monitor the movements of Venezuelans illegally and legally into Trinidad and Tobago. They're also monitoring the connections between Venezuelans criminals who have been identified in Trinidad and Tobago and the local gangs in Trinidad. So a number of monitoring and intelligence gatherings taking place right now from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Bermuda's health minister has warned that the island's near 30-year record of being measles-free could be under threat. This after a drop in vaccination rates and a surge in cases abroad. We have more in this report.
Our most recent data in 2018 has shown significant improvements in vaccination coverage of 95% of all infants at 6 months of age compared to those figures in 2017. However, there is real concern about immunization coverage for the first dose of the measles, mumps, and rubella given at 15 months of age, which was only at 87%. And this is significantly below the global target of 95% coverage.
To deal with what it calls vaccine hesitancy, the Ministry of Health has put together a national plan to increase local vaccine coverage by 10% by the year 2021. Meanwhile, the minister admits, depending on future trends, the government could give consideration to following the example of the United States, which mandates vaccinations for school-age youngsters.
Could we come to a point where such vaccinations could be mandatory, like in the U.S., for example?
I thank you for that question. Certainly, as I've indicated previously, there is a strategic framework that the Ministry of Health has developed, and they're hoping to see an increase in vaccinations by 2021. However, I can say it is certainly not out of the question that the government may consider having to take further measures, because we are seeing, as you've indicated, in many of the United States, as well as the District of Columbia, where there are requirements for children to, in order for them to be enrolled in school, they need to ensure that certain vaccinations that are required.
In sports, Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association President Dr. Warren Blake says that despite some of the nation's top junior athletes pulling out of the recently concluded Carifta Games in the Cayman Islands, the country continues to show its athletics prowess after pulling in its second best medal haul at the Games over the weekend. Jamaica took home an impressive 85 medals, 36 gold, 33 silver, and 16 bronze. And Blake said that despite getting fewer gold medals this year, it was a stellar overall performance from the young athletes, especially in the field. Dr. Blake highlighted the performances of triple gold medal winners Brianna Williams and Shakina Foote, as well as record breakers Cedrica Williams and Deshawn Lamb. Williams, the repeat Austin Seeley Award winner, won the under-20 women's 100 meters and 200 meters, along with the 4x100 meters, while Foote conquered in the 400 meters hurdles, and the 4x400 meters. Williams broke the under-17 girls discus record with a mark of 47.94 meters, and Lamb took the boys under-17 100 meters hurdles in 13.54 seconds. And that's the news on PBCJ. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, PBCJ is the People's Station.